Hi there, and welcome to the next video in my series on Lightrider tips. Now, a question that I've been asked a few times is whether it's possible to edit fixture profiles for use within Lightrider. And the answer is yes, it is. But before we show you, I just want to mention a couple of other things. So this video is very definitely about editing existing fixture profiles. It's not about how to create new ones. There's a process that you can go through with Nicolaudi to request a new profile, and I strongly recommend you do that if you need one, because it's very difficult to add a new profile to the Lightrider setup directly on your tablet. Secondly, the guys at Lightrider have also suggested that they may release a product that allows us to edit fixture profiles ourselves. Now, that's not available right now, so what I'm going to do today is show how you can do it with a product available from Nicolaudi called the Scan Library Editor. Okay, quick look at the iPad first. So I'm going to go and add a fixture profile into my sandbox project. I'm going to switch to fixtures view. As you can see, I've got no lighting fixtures in there at the moment, and I'm going to choose the Shoei Intimidator Spot 255. So I'm going to search for 255. Okay, notice that the red dot next to the name of the profile is there, and that means that this profile is not available on my iPad. So when I select this, you'll see that it's now going to download that fixture from the Lightrider site. I'm going to deliberately set this to channel mode 2 or with 8 channels, and then add this fixture. Okay, if you tap the fixture name, as always, you'll see the 8 channels as we'd expect. We've got pan, tilt, color, gobo, etc. If I go back to live mode, I just want to point out a couple of things now that then show you the things that we can change. So first off, within gobo, for example, all the gobos are present, but you'll notice they're called gobo 1, gobo 2, gobo 3, etc. I'm also just going to take a quick look at the colors, and you'll see that there are 8 colors, 8 color segments around the color selector, which is interesting because I happen to know that the Intimidator Spot 255 has 9 colors, so one of them is clearly missing here, and I can show you why that is. Okay, right, so that's it for the iPad view. Now let's go and look at how we download the profile from my iPad to my laptop and change it using the Scan Library Editor. Okay, so I've now connected my iPad up to my laptop, started iTunes, and I'm going to look for the little iPad icon near the top left next to the music dropdown. If you click the iPad icon, then look down for file sharing, select Lightrider in the list of apps, and you should see all of the folders and files used by Lightrider currently on your iPad. So I'm going to choose Chauvet. You'll see folders representing all the manufacturers of lighting fixtures that you're using. The one I was using was the Intimidator Spot by Chauvet, so I'm going to click Chauvet and then click Save button. Now I've created a folder on my laptop called Lightrider Backups. I've created one called iPad Backup 7th May 2018, so I'm going to click that and then choose Select Folder. At the top of the screen you'll see very quickly that iTunes will make a copy of that Chauvet folder to my laptop. So if I switch to the Windows File Explorer, look for the iPad Backup 7th May 2018 folder. In there you'll now see the Chauvet folder, and inside there will be all of the fixtures that you're using on your iPad. The one that I'm interested in is the Intimidator Spot 255. So what I'm going to do now is switch to a program called Scan Library Editor. Now I'll include a link to this in the comments in the video. This is the tool that you use to edit profiles used by Lightrider. Okay, so I'm going to open up this particular profile. So click Open, go to find the folder that I've just copied into Lightrider Backups for me. Here's the folder that I've just copied this Chauvet folder to. Here's the Intimidator Spot 255, and I'll click Open. Okay, so here we go. So this is an interesting profile because you'll see that there are two tabs called Mode 1, Mode 2. Now Mode 1, you will see, is a 13-channel profile. Mode 2 is an 8-channel profile. So this shows you that this particular profile actually contains two profiles, one for 13 channel and one for 8 channel, all within the same profile file. I'm going to make sure that I've got mode 2 selected for 8 channel because that's the one that we installed on Light Rider. And let's just take a quick look at what's here. So you can see the DMX traits that should be familiar from the fixtures view within Light Rider. So we've got things like pan, tilt, color, gobo, rotation, etc. Now, there's quite a lot to Scan Library Editor, but I'm going to just show you a couple of things that you can change relatively easily to help your profiles and make them a little easier to use. So the first one is gobos. Now, if you click the little drop-down arrow beneath gobo, you'll see the names of the gobos as they appear in Light Rider. So open, gobo 1, gobo 2. So what I'm going to do is just show you how to change those, and it's very simple. You just double click the name and you give the gobo a name. Now I can see from the 255 manual that gobo 1 is the kind of classic necklace style of circle of circles. So gobo 2 is, I don't know what that is, it looks a bit like flowers, but I'm not really sure. Gobo 3 is some sort of swirls pattern. Gobo 4 looks like 3 circles. Gobo 5, I'm guessing, is some kind of rose. Gobo 6, I'm not quite sure what that is. Looks a little bit like a mesh. Gobo 7, have no idea. I'm going to stop there. Okay, so that's one way that you can change the actual gobo names within the profile. The next thing I want to show you is about colors. You may recall I mentioned earlier that this particular profile was showing 8 colors, and yet I'm pretty certain that the 255 Intimidator Spot has 9 colors. So let's just take a look at what they are. If you click the little drop down beneath color, you'll see all of the colors used by Light Rider within the profile. Now, Light Rider itself doesn't understand the color names. It has no idea what white, yellow, pink and green actually means. What it actually does understand is the color box that's represented here below the name. Now, if you right click the box, if I right click the white box here and then choose modify the preset, you'll see what Light Rider really uses to understand colors. You'll see there's an RGB value standing for red, green and blue. Now, a while ago in the Light Rider help and support group, I posted this picture, and now these are the 11 colors that Light Rider recognizes, and the RGB values are the numbers beneath. So in this case, white would be 255, 255, 255. Okay, so if I check this, then the white color here, 255, 255, 255 is correct. Let's right click yellow, choose modify this preset. Okay, yellow 255, 255, 0. Okay, and as you can see, that's correct on screen. I'm going to right click pink, choose modify this preset. Look at pink on my chart, which is 255, 0, 255. Okay, so there's something a bit wrong there. So I'm going to change that to 255, 0, 255. Okay, now below that is green. I also noticed further down there's something called Kelly green. I have no idea what Kelly green, but looking at the chart, I have a choice of light green or green. So I'm going to go with light green for the first one, 150, 255, 0. So I'm going to change the name to light green and call this, remind myself the numbers 150, 255, 0. So right click, modify this preset. I've forgotten already, 150, 255, 0. Okay, red should be pretty straightforward because that will just be the red channel on full, green and blue 0. That's correct. Light blue. Okay, modify this preset. Yeah, and it looks a little bit wrong there. Light blue is 0, 255, 255. So I'm going to change these numbers here, 255, 255. Okay, right. So Kelly green we decided was just going to be green. I'm going to modify that. Change this to say 255. Remove the 6, remove the 0 there. Okay, and I'm going to change this to say green. Okay, let me just go and check that. Okay, so yep, 0, 255, 0. You'll notice that the two colors look similar, but they are in fact different, which means that Light Rider will choose different colors on your fixture. Right, orange, modify that particular preset. So orange should be 2551270. 2551270 is correct. And then dark blue. Well, there isn't a dark blue. We've got a choice of blue or light blue. So for this, I'm just going to call this one blue. Right click, and this one should be 00255. Okay. So let's quick check. So we should have white, yellow, pink, light green, red, light blue, green, orange, and blue. So yes, there are in fact 9 colors there, and not 8 as Light Rider was previously showing. So that means that one of these colors was defined, and therefore Light Rider didn't quite understand what it was. Okay, right. I'm going to stop there and save this particular profile. I'm going to just click the save icon, go back to my folders view, and we should see that this has now been amended. Okay, what I need to do now is hop back into iTunes and copy that particular file back to my iPad. Except there isn't a way that you can copy an individual file back to your iPad. The only way you can do it is to copy an entire folder. So what I'm going to do now is show you how to do that. This looks quite radical, but basically what you need to do is delete the old folder from your iPad. So I'm going to remove the whole of the Chauvet folder. Just going to tap the delete key and click delete, so it's now gone. Okay, go back to my Windows folder view. Go up a level so I can see the entire folder. So here's the Chauvet folder. Just quickly hop in there. You can see all 3 files that I was using are in there. Go back up, and I'm simply going to drag the whole of the Chauvet folder over to the Light Rider Documents window. Okay, you'll see that iTunes copies them all back, and so the entire contents of that folder, including the amended profile that we just saved, should now be on my iPad. Okay, right, so let's hop back to my iPad. Okay, so back on my iPad, and the first thing you'll notice if you tap things like Gobo is that nothing appears to have changed. The same is true of color. Okay, so before we do anything, my top tip here is to actually close Light Rider and restart it. Okay, so let's just close Light Rider, double tap the home button, close Light Rider, and then wait for a couple of seconds, and then restart Light Rider app. Okay, the next thing we'll need to do is to actually remove the fixture profile from any of the projects that we're using and add it back again, because that will make sure that Light Rider is using the very latest profile that you've just edited on your laptop. So I'm going to go to Fixtures view, delete the Intimidator spot that I've added, tap the brand, and I'm just going to add it back in. So find Chauvet in the list, search for 255. Notice here that the green dot, notice the green dot next to the profile name. So next to Intimidator spot 255, you'll see a green dot, meaning that Light Rider recognizes the fact that it's got a copy of that particular profile already on your iPad. It doesn't need to download a new copy, and therefore it doesn't even need an internet connection to do so. If the green dot were in fact amber, that means that a new version of this particular profile is available to download. And in fact, if you tapped it, Light Rider would attempt to download that version and overwrite the one you've already got. So if you are making changes to profiles, you do need to keep copies of them, because you may find that somebody else makes a change that goes public on the Nicolari site, and then Light Rider will always attempt to download the latest one, and thus overwriting the changes that you've made. Okay, I'm just going to tap Intimidator spot. I'm going to select 8 channel mode, because that's the mode that we amended, and I'm going to click add fixture. Okay, right, moment of truth. Let's go back to live mode and look at gobos now. And what we should see, good news, is that all of the gobos that were previously called gobo 1, gobo 2 have now got all of the names that we typed in. So you can see there's open, necklace, flowers, swirls, circles, etc. And if we'd have gone through the whole list, we could have changed all of them. But the good news now is that you can see gobos listed. Right, the other thing I want to check is colours, because previously we had 8 colours, and now I can see we have got 9. So we've also fixed that particular problem as well. You'll see that we've got the 2 green segments. Now they may look very similar on screen, but I can assure you they are different, and they will select the 2 different green colours on the Intimidator spot. So those are 2 changes that you can make relatively easily, and it's quite safe to do so. So as long as you've got access to the color chart, and I'll include a link to that as well in the description, then you can make some fairly simple changes that should help you with your profiles. Now there are some other issues that I've heard around with people have had with profiles. They're a little bit more tricky to solve, but this at least should get you started. Okay, so that's it for now. I'm hoping you're finding these videos useful. If you do, please hit the subscribe button, then you'll get notifications of any new ones. And as always, if you've got comments or any other questions relating to this, then just head over to the Light Rider Help and Support group on Facebook. Okay, but that's all for now, so thank you very much.